their big weekly news article, This Week in Destiny, and they're giving us a huge State of the Crucible update. On top of that, we're getting some changes to how exotic class items drop inside Destiny 2. I believe they're going to be giving us some increased drop chances from some sources and maybe reducing them for those AFK macro farming. We'll see. We'll jump into all the details here in just a moment and check out exactly what's going on. So we got PvP Strike Team update, State of the Crucible. Hello everyone, it's the PvP Strike Team here with our pre-805 check-in. We have a bunch of stuff we want to talk about today, but if you're short on time, here's just give you the high-level bullets to give you a quick summary of what we're covering today. Okay, so we got the bullet points. General Crucible, we got 6v6 map weighting, increased weighting on popular maps, decreased weighting on unpopular options, that's good. Improved lobby balancing, move our second variant of Snake Draft with improved systems for dealing with fire teams. And update quitter systems. The system should be more lenient for players who rarely quit or get disconnected, but much more restrictive for habitual quitters. Sandbox balance, PvP nerfs to Threaded Spectre and Swarm Grenades. Got it. Trials with Cyrus, we got Passage of Persistence update for trios. While in a 3-person fire team, losses will not remove a win from this passage. Interesting. Competitive, we got Clash, reducing the score to win. Bring match times closer to our 8-minute target, and Collision, improving its spawn logic. Iron Banner, we got temporarily removing Tribute for additional improvements. Everyone who was hating on Tribute and just gone now, looking to address things like the semi-random bank locations and kills not providing points. We want to keep reading and get all the weeds. Let's roll into it. All right, so we're going to jump into all the nitty-gritty here. General Crucible, we want to start off with a general State of the Crucible discussion to recap some of the changes we made, separated by playlist in the last few months that you may have missed, and talk about where we're going to go from here. Over the past few months, we've made several updates to Crucible with improvements to rewards and quality of life passes on all maps. Increased the base end of match rewards, including more glimmer and higher chances for enhancement cores and Crucible engrams. We also created a double rewards booster for PvP. Spawning zone and heavy ammo location quality of life passes on all maps. This included removing all backfield spawns from the Citadel, Cathedral of Dusk, Disjunction, Convergence, and non-rift modes, which allows the maps to play 30 to 50% smaller than before. It's a good change, actually. And we got map weighting. We have heard your request for updated map weightings in 6v6 playlists. Generally, we want to keep all maps as evenly weighted as possible to ensure that you get to play on a variety of maps. And we want to avoid removing maps from rotation whenever possible. However, we do acknowledge that players still prefer playing on popular maps more often. As such, in 805, we're making a change to increase weight for Javelin 4, Burnout, Endless Vale, Cirrus Plaza, Dissonance, and Eventide Ruins. So those are the maps that people want to play more, so they're actually going to get weighted to land on that more. And they're reducing the weight for Disjunction, Cathedral of Dusk, Convergence, Twilight Gap, and Exodus Blue. And Dead Cliffs is currently the only map not in control as we are reworking the spawn and zone locations, but we hope to have it back soon. All other maps have standard weighting. Also coming in 805 are a couple of substantial changes we're making to problematic systems that we hope will greatly improve the Crucible experience. And we got lobby balance. Lobby balancing has proven to be an extraordinarily difficult puzzle to solve. Since Season 23 launched, we have had experimenting with multiple different types of lobby balancing systems, including random, average skill, a variant of Snake Draft. While each of these 3 solutions has had its own positives, none of them had done much to reduce the volume of feedback we get that lobby balancing can feel unfair. Alright, random lobby balancing generates poor quality matches more than any other method. Snake Draft works well for solo games but doesn't handle fire teams well. And average skill works better for fire teams but can lead to frustrating team compositions. We have built a new variant of Snake Draft that should handle fire teams better and will be rolling out in 805 as we continue to look for the optimal solution to lobby balance. Our internal tests have been quite promising, but we don't believe we're done iterating on lobby balance either. It's an ongoing battle to ride the line between pure fairness in terms of outcome and making sure that each player in the game has someone on the other team that they can compete with head to head. We'll continue to monitor the results of these changes. We also plan to share a deeper dive into how we approach lobby balancing in a future article. There it is. Okay. It's good they're actually addressing that because that's probably one of the bigger issues that I see a lot of people complaining about and being frustrated with. Quitters. Okay, so the quitter penalty is about to get crazy, so be prepared out there if you've been quitting Crucible matches. Our second major topic lies a lot in one above because quitters can throw a whole wrench in any lobby balancing equation. As it stands currently, quitting has become something of an epidemic, especially in modes like Control and Iron Banner, but it's even negatively affecting Trials and Competitive as well. In our 6v6 playlist, we've seen an uptick in quitting across the board over the last several months. stemming in large part from higher skill players who themselves joining and then quitting to search for easier matches. The problem with this are twofold. They are one of the higher skilled players on their team. The lobby hasn't been balanced around their presence. When they leave, it puts their team at a significant disadvantage. True! If the best player leaves, obviously it's going to be at a big disadvantage. And that player might leave also in part because his two teammates don't really contribute as much because of, ta-da, lobby balancing. Forces us to try and pull a player to join an in-game or an in-progress game, and it is unlikely that we can find a player who matches the same skill profile, which means that when a player joins that game has already started, they're also at a disadvantage. If this was an isolated incident, it would be one thing, but unfortunately there are a number of players who are habitual quitters, leaving more than 30% of their total games, which causes a serious negative impact on the remaining players in games. A limitation of our current quitter penalty is that we could not make it too stringent because we want to avoid punishing players who experience random error codes or who need to leave a game occasionally for a valid reason. So to keep those players in mind while also better addressing the quitter issue, we have completely rebuilt the quitter penalty. Okay, what is this? If you play a long stream of games without quitting, the game will place you in good standing and be lenient if you occasionally get disconnected or must leave a game. However, if you habitually quit a high percentage of your games, you will be placed in a probationary status. They're putting you on probation. And if you continue to leave games, it will result in escalating timeouts from Crucible from every match left. For normal players, this should result in less frustrating instances of being booted from a match and getting timed out, but high volume quitters will find the system far less forgiving. The initial values for good standing and probationary statuses are also tunable, so if you find it to be too strict or too lenient, we can quickly adjust to smooth out the experience. Very nice. Alright, don't quit in Crucible. Ability is 805 for changing two Prismatic Hunter abilities to address community feedback about Prismatic Hunter performance in the Crucible. The goal of these changes is to reduce frustration around playing against Prismatic Hunters without negatively affecting their performance in PvE content. Threaded Spectre is getting reduced aim assist strength by 50%, and players add a short delay before the aim assist takes effect. Reduce Threaded Spectre detonation damage versus players by 45%. And Swarm Grenade, reduce the distance that Swarm Grenade submunition projectiles can travel once they begin tracking a target by 20%. We'll continue to monitor Crucible feedback on the release and make additional adjustments if necessary. Wow, words are hard. Special ammo economy changes. Oh wow, this is they're definitely diving in here. Back in May, we discussed changes we were making to the special ammo economy and PvP and detailed the new system, referred to as the blended system, that we were going to be moving towards. In this system, you receive 1 kill's worth of special ammo on spawn, 1 kill's worth from crates, and primary weapon final blows drop a brick 1 kill's worth. Blended system has now been out in most game modes, and we wanted to detail how it's performing compared to previous systems. Alright, so we got ammo economy type, respawn, original, percentage of special kills 24%. Okay, 47%. Alright, you can see the... Yep. Alright, we can see a reduction there. As you can see, the amount of special ammo has gone up slightly compared to the meter and crate systems, but it's still down significantly from where it was in the old respawn system. In addition, shotguns are less egregious outliers compared to both iterations of the meter, although they are not as in band as they were with either the respawn or crate system. The delta between usage for high and low skill players has similarly been reduced to a more acceptable level. Moving forward, the blended system will be the default system for Crucible until we have completed the rebuild of the ammo meter, a process which is extremely complex but is well underway. We'll provide an update in the future when we know more about the potential release timeline. Soon we will be swapping trials over to a blended system, not the system that was accidentally activated last weekend where you retained ammo between rounds. And the prototype meter will be fully deprecated from our core Crucible experience. We will, however, continue to allow the meter to be selected as an ammo option in private matches and to be used as the default system for the checkmate game mode when it appears in the rotator. So there you go. Some big changes to the special ammo economy. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that, if you've been jumping in any Crucible. Trials, okay. Since Season 21, we've made some substantial changes to Trials that have had a positive effect on the playlist. We've updated most of the passages, increased the post-game rewards substantially, provided bonus rewards for playing as a trio, and even added a weekly set of rewards that triggers when your card is initially flawed to help offset the sting of defeat. We've collected the changes below to help recap the full list of improvements currently in-game that we've made during that time. Passage updates. Wealth rewards extra good. Wealth persistence rewards extra trials rank on every win. The amount rewarded increases a player's major rank increases. Got it. Persistence, losses following a win will remove the win from the player's card. Consecutive losses do not remove additional wins. Getting to 7 wins drops. Getting someone's grants a drop of the weekly adept weapon, regardless of how many losses the player has. Ferocity, if a player hasn't been flawless the week, losses after 3 wins will reset them back to 3 wins. Instead of flawing their card, that's a nice one, reverts the old behavior of granting a bonus win for the 3rd win once a player goes flawless. Nice. Mercy, if a player hasn't been flawless for the week, 2 losses can be forgiven, reverts to its old behavior of forgiving a single loss once the player goes flawless. Nice. Rewards, any win has a chance, 50% chance to drop the non-adept weekly weapon. Once you have been flawless and are playing on a 7-win card, you also have a 50% chance to drop the adept version of the weekly weapon on wins. When playing as a trio for game completions, you get 50% additional chance to the non-adept weekly weapon, 50% chance to trials engram, and bonus trials reputation. You now get bonus rewards based on how many wins you get before your card became flawed. There it is. The above changes have helped the playlist in a healthier state than it has been in the past. In particular, the passage of persistence changes combined with the trios rewards had a noticeable effect, increasing the percentage of trio games played by 30% and providing a small influx of more casual players. Still, we believe there is room for improvement, and we want to more strongly encourage playing with friends. I think that's a good way to set up right there. Obviously, everyone really likes the solo stuff, but rewarding people for going to trios is pretty cool. Persistence, when you play as a trio, we have updated the passage of persistence so that losses will no longer remove wins. This means that when you play trials as a full fire team on persistence, you will only need to get 7 wins total, and you'll receive a drop of the weekly adept weapon. Quitting a match will still result in having a win subtracted. Wow, that's nice. You must complete the match for it to forgive the loss. Cool. We still want to make trials more rewarding for more kinds of players, but we will have more details on that later. In the longer term, we are looking to bring more players into trials by offering an alternative 3v3 experience that's more like Iron Banner in terms of the loot chase not being mostly reliant on wins. We also want to make the challenger pool less of an all or nothing experience. We can lean on what we've started with the flawed card rewards and further reward win streaks to make it feel like less of a waste of time if you fall at the gates while still maintaining the exclusivity of flawless rewards. Very nice. Cool. All right. Our ranked playlist has also received some substantial changes over the last 6 months. To summarize them, they moved rank-based matchmaking, they updated the points, they changed the game modes Clash and Collision, they added new tiers, and they added competitive weapon focusing. They granted an increased drop chance of the exotic weapon catalyst. Got it. With these updates, we feel the foundation of the comp playlist is solid following the release of the final shape. We just had the best 30-day stretch in over a year in terms of player participation, and specifically this previous week was the best highest hours played per account in the last 8 months. Since we have made a lot of changes recently, moving forward, we want to allow the playlist to stabilize and give players time to get used to this iteration. We plan to build on this foundation, further refine the game modes and rule sets, and allow it to be a place where you can see and feel your improvement and growth as a player. To start, in 8.05, we'll reduce the score to win Clash from 40 to 35, bring game times closer to an 8-minute target. That's good. They'll be updating the spawn policy and Collision to favor spawning near your teammates. And we recently made this change to Clash, and we saw incident of split spawns go down dramatically. Nice. Long-term, couple goals. We think that the point of the rewards for the ranking system, though improved, still needs some work in terms of how understandable they can be. We'd like to move back to a system where player performance in match has much more of a direct impact on how you gain or lose, and where each player can easily understand why they earned the amount that they did at the end of each game. I also want to further improve Collision's gameplay, and we're investigating ways to make the matches feel fair and more predictable. Got it. All right, Iron Banner. Here we go. To start, we have moved Tribute back to the back burner for further improvements. Everyone's hating on Tribute. While it was inspired by Halo Reach's popular Headhunter mode, we acknowledge that and we want to minimize some of the frustration that can stem from things like semi-random bank spawns and getting no progress from kills. Tribute will not return until we can improve enough to make a noticeable difference. In the meantime, you're going to get Control, Fortress, and Eruption. We've also made changes to the matchmaking structure in Iron Banner. Rewards. Wins now guaranteed a random drop of Iron Banner weapon and a very high chance of an engram. Game completions also offer an improved drop rate for weapons and engrams. Matchmaking. Earlier this year, loose skill-based matchmaking was deprecated in favor of the same outlier protection system utilized in Control. This provides us with many of the same benefits while impacting matchmaking times or connection quality. For more in-depth explanation on the different matchmaking systems, see the article. I'm a big fan of just make Iron Banner connection-based matchmaking. Iron Banner is not that serious. We do not need connection. We do not need some crazy skill-based matchmaking. It ain't that serious. Bungie, I don't know if you agree or disagree, but just make Iron Banner chill, please. During Tribute Week, we made a change that was not to the matchmaking parameters themselves. We had to correct an issue in separate setting called skill variance, which determines how quickly a player's skill can update and by what amount. This value was erroneously set too low, and it was causing players to become trapped in whatever skills started Iron Banner, preventing players' skills from updating as intended. And Fireteam based matchmaking. Last year we made a change that softened the search parameters. This made it so that you would match other teams with a similar size. And so they have the percentages of all of that there. The charts. Look at the chart below showing Iron Banner participation over the last 4 years. You can see that we moved away from purely random matchmaking in fall of 2002. Our participation peaks have generally increased, and our troughs are higher too. The current outlier protection system, paired with Fireteam matchmaking, represents a strong balance between allowing high skilled players and large fire teams to succeed. I guess it like started at 40% and then it ended at like 40%. I guess it had some moments here. That said, we still believe there's more work to be done to improve the Iron Banner experience, especially for casual and mixed fire teams. We'd like to investigate offering a more relaxed variant of Iron Banner with minimal matchmaking stratification and a focus on less serious game modes. We also want to be able to reward fire teams better in general, like we began to do in Trials. Yes, thank you. Just make Iron Banner chill. Why? Like, I don't understand. It's not that serious. Iron Banner is literally the most potato game mode ever. You just load in, you just shoot your gun, and it ain't that crazy. You know what I'm saying? Let Trials and let Comp be the sweaty modes. Let Iron Banner be chill, fun, play with your friends mode. We have lots more to talk about and coming in our second episode, and we're excited to share that with you once 8.05 is out the door. All right. That was the state of the Crucible. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below about that. And now it's time to check out the exotic class item tuning updates. This is going to get crazy. The final shape introduced new exotic class items that can roll with some awesome perk combinations that enhance your prismatic builds. This has made them highly sought after reward, and we've seen feedback from players that it's currently difficult to get enough drops to target the rolls you want. To address this, we're currently targeting the following changes for early August. Increasing chances for drops when opening overthrow chests. As you open the chest tied to overthrow activities, your chances will increase. Higher tier chests give bigger increases to drop chances. This should decrease the amount of time it takes on average to get an exotic class item, but we'll be watching the feedback and tuning further if necessary. We're reducing the chances from unrelated Pale Heart chests in free roam to encourage overthrow participation, and also to stop macro farming. Increased chance stored up from overthrow chests apply to lost sectors and co-op missions that take place in the Pale Heart. Got it. Additionally, we're adding a weekly challenge to Dual Destiny. Players will be able to earn one additional exotic class item when completing this activity per week per character. Subsequent completions will function normally. Okay, so you can get double drops once per each character each week, which, I mean, it's okay, double drops. I feel like they should just do double drops the whole week, like do a whole week of where every clear is double drops, but whatever. Also, aware of the player feedback concerning the desire for these exotics to come from more activities outside the Pale Heart. Many thanks to all who have been giving feedback, and we'll continue to monitor after the above changes go live. I mean, it's a step in the right direction. It's like maybe 5 or 10% what they should do, but no one wants to sit around and farm overthrow chests for a 1 in 64 chance of the exotic class item to drop, you know what I'm saying? Like, they really gotta make it so you can like focus it even better than that. Brave Arsenal weapon attunement is back. Nice. Brave Arsenal, this is good. Ready to introduce a new way to attune the Brave Arsenal weapons. So if you haven't crafted all these, got some options here. 8.05 players can visit Zavala in the tower to access a new Onslaught attunement menu. From there, players can select a single Brave Arsenal weapon they'd like to attune to Increase the drop chance by 60% at Onslaught. This is an increase from the 50% drop chance in the Into the Light Tomb event. Nice, very nice. There's no cooldown or cost, so you can swap your chosen weapon anytime, and your selected weapon will remain attuned until you change or deactivate it. If you're chasing an elusive Brave Arsenal God roll, now's the perfect time to jump in and try your luck. That's awesome. I'm super happy they did that. The chances of getting the weapon that you wanted were like impossible post Into the Light. Obviously, most people would have gotten the rolls they wanted with the Into the Light event, but just in case you didn't, it was like impossible. So that's a good thing that they actually addressed that. Got the Destiny art shows here. Nice. They got one in Los Angeles. They got one in New York. They got one in London. This is going to be interesting. Celebration of art in the Destiny universe. Very cool. Now it's time to submit your Marasov NSFW art pieces. I mean, what? Bungie Foundation Tournament Finale live stream. Very cool, very cool. And this is all, I believe this is all going to the Bungie Foundation, so that's good stuff. Bungie rewards. New research specimen aboard the helm. Feels like a specimen. Failsafe's new best friend, Captain Jacobson. Yeah. Guardians that give their friend a gentle pet will earn the spiritual success for triumph and unlock access to the new pin. There it is. You got the pin. Captain Jacobson pin. We got the build of the week. Nice. We got Cade 6 blooper up in here. Wait, what? So good. He throws his ace at him. Cool. Alright. That's a wrap on this one. That's everything. Big changes to the Crucible. I like the changes that they're working on. I like the changes to the exotic class items. Obviously, they need to stop the macro farming because that's not going to be a bannable offense to macro farm, like you mentioned, but it's something that you probably don't want everyone in your game just AFK macro all the time. And the changes to Onslaught, also epic. So I think overall, an excellent TWID. Let me know if you agree or disagree. That's a wrap, though. Make sure to subscribe, smash the like button. I'll see you in the next one. Later.